Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a max effort bench press day. And we did a fair amount of volume today, kind of like I said I'm going to do. I'm going to start taking my training volumes up and not do the fasted cardio during the week. I feel like it interferes with my ability to really get all the training in that I want and everything else. So I think I'm going to stick to the fasted walking on the weekends. I'll maybe do some sled work through the week, but I'm just going to take the training volumes up to get better body composition, better hypertrophy. And so I started off with, like you guys have seen me doing, I started with seal rows. I went with 205 pounds on these. I got 3 sets of 10, which is right about pretty much my 10 rep max on this stuff. So again, wanting to get that middle and upper back work in before I bench. Now, I wasn't super happy with the floor presses today. I'm just going to give a disclaimer. I thought I'd be stronger on a chain floor press with a closed grip, but apparently I'm not. So kind of finding some weak links there with some of this. I legitimately thought, even with 25 pounds of chains, that I would get up into the, a decent amount of weight on there. But when I started ramping it, like right here, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely feeling this. And I went to 245 and then 275. So really, it's only 300 pounds at the lockout. Now, granted, notice with the chains, we have the full chain. Actually, this setup worked really good for the strength curve. By the way, notice how perfect that is. This was relatively heavy here, and I'm like, oh, man. But keeping in mind, I'm a little stronger with the wider grip floor press with this. It's closed grip. And I mean, I'm in close. As you guys saw from that, I'm 16 inches. So again, no ability to use my lats to drive out of the bottom, any of that stuff. And then keeping in mind those chains really made that lockout difficult. So that's what I thought was fascinating. So when I went over to this, and I don't think I've ever had a really big, right? I don't really have a big PR ever on this. I don't think I hit more than 315 with straight weight on this exercise, even when I had a 365 closed grip. So, I mean, realistically, I have to accept that. But it's like, man, that was a little humbling for a max effort day. Dips, however, we got a PR, didn't we? A rep PR. So I finally went up to this. I was able to get, remember, 1 set of 10 with this before. And then I went heavier. So then on the other dynamic day, I did 3 sets of 10 with this weight. So today I did 2 sets of 10 and I managed to squeeze out 11 reps. So I think this is a good working weight. So if you guys notice what I'm going to probably do on my conjugate stuff, I'm going to do max work. We're going to do speed work. And a lot of my work here, it's like I used to do before. I had a lot of luck with this. I might do a little heavy assistance, but for the most part, it's going to be 10 plus reps, right? And we're just going to hypertrophy the hell out of everything. They're going to hypertrophy everything. Now, I want to state, I really feel the dips a lot in my chest. I feel them in the triceps too, but man, the chest, because I'm actually at the widest point on that thing, you notice that? But it feels like a closed grip bench almost for me because I'm wide, like I'm really, really wide. So from that perspective, that doesn't feel like an ultra wide grip. So with these, I'm just trying to pump out quality reps. I'm working on getting deeper, which I do near the end of sets a little bit. It takes me a little getting used to that, but I feel a tremendous stretch in my chest. And I can say the chest pump I've been getting from these the last few weeks is the most I've felt in a long time. But that tricep with it, like I really feel that lateral head of the tricep with enormous amounts of chest. So I'm happy with it. So afterwards though, I want to keep working that upper back. I feel like that's going to help both my squat and my bench. I just need that stability. And the thing I'm noticing, I'm feeling a ton of upper chest on all that closed grip work. Like I'm feeling a ton of upper chest. I don't feel any triceps, but I'm going to hammer the triceps. Why? Because I may be feeling some of that upper chest and a little bit of shoulder on it because I'm not strong enough in my triceps. And notice that lockout was difficult on that closed grip with the chains, which tells me again, let's hammer those triceps. And just because I feel some chest, it's because it's compensating potentially. But I'm going to build the chest. I am going to build the chest up with dips and other presses. Dumbbells and things like that. I might work in some flat dumbbell presses too. Today I did incline. I haven't done any incline work, and man, they crackled and popped a lot. But I went light. I went with the same weights I used for these. Now this last set I did like 13 or 14. I just took it further, realized I could do a little more reps, so I did. So I've been doing that incline dumbbell on all of my lower days. I'm like, let's throw it in here too. This will give me 6 total sets for my upper back. We'll do some upper back tomorrow too. We're going to do it every day. But here today, I'm like, let's do some incline dumbbells. And they felt pretty good, actually. But I did notice, again, what I've been doing working with the shoulder health, going to all close grip, I did notice a lot of crackling, like popping sounds on the first set, kind of popping into place. So that was interesting. But I don't know if I want to continue to leave these in. I felt like it would be good just to get some good pump work. So I used the same dumbbells that I used for the incline. So what we are doing here is, again, just getting in, pumping, getting blood flow, getting a pump, creating metabolic fatigue with relatively challenging work sets. I'm just going to build the hell out of everything. It's all just going to bodybuild everything up. But again, working on the weak links especially. So again, we're going to see me do more of that. I'm not even going to mess with a bunch of heavy work. Why? I don't need a bunch of heavy work. I'm doing max effort 2 different days. We're hitting maxes. So from that context, I can stick to mostly 10 plus reps. Plus the speed work carries over to the force production we want. And I've trained like this before and got hella strong. And then people were like, noted. Like, this is the way I train when I've been at the strongest. A couple of times I've ever been with some of the biggest lifts I've ever done on this channel. So I'm going to continue to do it this way. And yeah, I'm going to take the volumes way up on certain smaller muscles and things like triceps, quads, stuff like that. We're going to get crazy high on the volumes because I need it. I mean, even the biceps, because my arms need it. Biceps have their own day in the middle of the week as a weak point day. But we did these and I felt them a lot. But what was interesting, I'm like, I really want to take those extensions back in. As much as I like pullovers, I really like those laying extensions. So I did 3 sets of those after this. Okay. Here's the thing. I felt chest on them. I noticed when I did the laying extensions where I get that rotation of the shoulder, right? So we put that stretch on the long head. Man, I felt my inner chest a lot. Like right in the middle. And I don't know if it's residual from the dips, but it makes sense with that slight pullover effect in it. So not only did I feel my whole tricep light up, I did feel chest on this. So I'm like, okay, this is a winner. And I've kind of felt like, if you really want to get all your pressing muscles pretty jacked, I do think weighted dips combined with this is really, really a great combination, because then we make sure we get that long head of the tricep that maybe gets a bit neglected on the dips. But the other thing is, there is some chest involvement in this, right? That bit of stretch we get from the shoulder, I feel my chest. And what was interesting is like, man, I felt it really lighting up my pecs right in the middle. So the center chest, the middle chest, all near the sternum area, I felt it on these. Now, could it have been residual from the dips? Maybe. But there is that pullover effect too in here. And because we're using a lot of weight, keeping in mind, this is generally more weight than I'm oftentimes doing on the pullovers. It is more weight than I do on the pullovers, but a similar effect regarding that. So I do think it counts. This is definite chest carryover. But these were really good today. And I haven't done these in a couple of weeks, and I maintained all the strength on them. But man, they felt really good. So I do feel like this is an exercise with the dips I want to keep in as a staple. I feel like those combined with the speed benching will build that close grip bench back up a lot. Am I going to possibly need to work in some floor press or some close grip incline? Possibly. So it's something to consider. Definitely something to consider. But yeah, I'm going to have to work all these different things in, but I feel like right now these really and truly need to be staples for me. They need to be staples because they bring a lot. Because I feel like that combination of the chest and tricep that I get from this, really useful. The incline dumbbells, maybe. I don't know that I felt when I wanted to feel on them today, but I may keep them in and I may rotate some flat work and some other floor pressing. But definite staples that I feel bring a lot here, along with all the band press downs. These 2 movements, the weighted dips and these laying extensions, at least for a while. And then I decided, let's make sure that we keep the shoulders. And I'm not doing any side delt work now while I'm making sure my shoulder inflammation gets really good. And by the way, sounds like a broken record explaining this over and over. It's from the wide grip benching. I don't hurt, right? I don't hurt. It's just that I don't have the ranges of motion I want, and I get all that crackling and everything, which again makes sense, AC joint inflammation. So I did some front raises again though here, just to make sure we're working that. I get a lot of upper chest. I feel my upper chest a lot on front raises, not just shoulders. And yes, I'm leaving in the helicopters flying over. I live near an airfield, so we have a lot of that. It's pretty normal. So 3 sets of 12 with the front raises. Again, I like this exercise. I feel that it does improve my bench. And I took it back out while I took the shoulder day out for a couple of weeks, but I do feel like adding it back in will help my benching. I used to do some stuff like this when I had my closed grip bench really strong too. Not a bad exercise. And then I just hammered my triceps into the ground at the end with tons and tons of band press downs. So I didn't do as many as the other day, but I did 7 sets. And obviously the first set, you get way more reps. I got like 50 reps, and I couldn't get more than about 20 to 25 on the subsequent sets. That first set is kind of like the whole, oh, you can do so many and then you're fatigued. So people could argue the last 6 sets then were very much jump volume potentially. But I'm not that worried about it. I just want to keep pumping the triceps, make sure those tendons are healthy. But yeah, arguably it could be at that point. But we did the real tricep work, was the dips and then the laying extensions. That really did the real work. This at this point is almost a tendon and a prehab exercise. But it does help for me. It helps tremendously, and it does work a different part of the strength curve. So I'm not going to talk all the way through all the band press downs. You guys can just watch the sets for the next minute or so while this runs. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.